In my hand, I hold the most divisive running shoe of 2025 so far. It has a familiar name, but with a twist. The Nike Pegasus Premium? It's heavy, expensive, and looks weird. Nothing about it made me think that it would be a winner. And then I tried it on. Here's our full review. So first, let's quickly situate this shoe inside of Nike's quickly changing universe. So in 2025, they've made a pretty big change in how they organize their running shoes. They've created 3 pillars: stability, cushioning, and responsiveness. And under each pillar are 3 shoes: a normal version, a slightly improved plus version, and then an even more souped up premium version. And under that responsiveness column is a name that you'll recognize: the Pegasus. The normal version is your Pegasus 41. This year will be the Pegasus 42. And then this year Nike expanded on the Pegasus to create it 2 slightly more muscular cousins. And the most muscular of the 2, the Pegasus Premium. An upmarket super trainer that's super stiff and powerful and is meant to give you a huge boost in your workouts. It's pricey, it's super tall, it has the classic heel-to-toe drop of a Pegasus, 10 millimeters, and it weighs more than pretty much any shoe that we've ever reviewed on this channel. So when I first picked it up, yeah, I was confused. I thought, Nike is saying that it's created a great workout shoe, and yet it weighs almost as much as an Air Jordan? Are you kidding me? You see my skepticism here. So before we get into the wear test, let's just take a second to break down where all this weight actually comes from. Mainly, it's in the 3-layer midsole. So first you have a full layer of Zoom X foam, which is Nike's supercritical PEBA foam, which itself is light and used in most of their racing shoes. Directly under it is something pretty new. Well, kind of. It's a full-length Nike Air Zoom unit, a type of air chamber that gives the shoe added rigidity and responsiveness. It's sort of a stand-in for a carbon plate. And it's the same stuff that's in the Alpha Fly 3, but just this time spread out through the entire shoe. And then under that Air Zoom unit is a layer of Nike's React X foam, which is heavier than Zoom X, but is there for durability and stability. And then under it all is this pretty sculpted outsole with Nike's classic waffle pattern, a bit of exposed React X foam, and then you can also see that Air Zoom unit poking out too. So altogether you have this highly engineered running shoe whose bells and whistles make it really heavy. And before trying it on, I heard of others disliking the shoe because they found it clunky, and then other people didn't like how narrow it felt. So I had low expectations, and I started worrying that Nike might be losing its way and overcomplicating their workout shoe. But I had to see for myself, and I got to try them on in what I'll call the coolest wear test that I've ever done. So a couple weekends ago, our team at Marathon Handbook traveled to Boston for the Boston Run Show, and we got to run on the Newton Hills. So basically to do the second half of the Boston Marathon course, from the Newton Hills all the way to the finish on Boylston Street. And I had a threshold workout to do, so I decided to wear those shoes and see how they might fare out on the hills. And then something wild happened. They became my favorite workout shoe. So I started the run by doing an easy warm-up, and the Premium felt great. It didn't thrust me onto my toes while running easy like other workout shoes do, and I like that in a shoe. It's important for me that a workout shoe feels okay when running easy, because oftentimes in workouts there are some easy running parts. So that was a green check mark. But the shoe was so heavy that I thought it's gonna feel terrible when I start picking it up. I also noted something else. The Premiums are very rigid and narrow, and so they don't really allow for the foot to flare out on either side. Now, I have a bit of a pronation problem, so I quite like how the shoe is that way. It's also something that I liked in the Nike Invincible Run 3. That point in the Nike shoes is very divisive. People who do like to have a little bit of leeway with their feet, and also people who have wide feet, don't really like the fact that Nikes are narrow and force your feet forward and nowhere else. That's something that I like, something I enjoy. If you didn't like the Invincible Run 3s, this might also be a problem for you with the Premiums. But then when it was time to actually pick up the pace, something crazy happened. The shoes were so responsive that their weight didn't matter to me. I had one of the best threshold workouts of my life. In fact, I stole a Strava podium from Connor Mance, the American Olympian who finished 6 whole minutes ahead of me in the Houston Half Marathon. All right, I'll take it. All of a sudden, I started to love these shoes. In fact, you know when you start finding someone more attractive because you know they run fast? There's a term for that. It's called speed goggles. And I think I have speed goggles for the Pegasus Premium. Because all of a sudden, they don't look so silly. Just look at the top. They have a few nice reflective details, and even the coordinates of a blue ribbon sports shop in Santa Monica, which of course is what Nike used to be called. It made me wonder, those who said they hated this shoe, have they really tried running as fast as they could in them? Because I feel like the faster you run in them, the better you feel. These are absolute spaceships. And okay, the weight, I guess, is not totally unprecedented. In fact, it's in the same ballpark as the Brooks Glycerin Max and the HOKA Skyflow. Okay, so the verdict. Alex's infatuation aside, are they worth the buy? Well, there are a couple things that you should keep in mind. One is that they're expensive. If you were looking for a bargain shoe, this is totally not it. You're going to pay almost as much as you would pay for a racing shoe for this workout shoe, which is a lot. Second, when I say they're rigid, I mean 2 things. One, they're tight and narrow on the foot and don't allow for much side-to-side motion, as mentioned. The other thing is the upper is rigid. You really need to yank on the laces to get a good fit around your foot, especially if you have a smaller foot. But if you're a fan of super responsive, really rigid workout shoes, and you don't mind spending a little bit of extra money, the Pegasus Premium might be for you. Also, if you're still curious about what the heck Nike might be doing with its shoe lineup, stay tuned because we've made a video that goes into a little bit more depth about these 3 pillars that they have, and we're going to focus on the responsiveness pillar, which is the Pegasus and its 2 siblings. So stay tuned for that, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to share it with someone who might think the same. And thanks for watching. Also, did you notice anything different about me at some point in this video? Wow, nice whistle, buddy. What was that for?
Nice beard.
Thank you. I didn't even think about that one. Anything else?
Nice hair.
Thanks. What's better? Oh, long hair or short hair?
Long.
Yeah. It was time for a cut. Okay. Well, can't win them all.